You want to fuck with me? You think you know bad, huh? You're a fucking choir boy compared to me! A choir boy!
Hey, what's going on, my cringy crew? Welcome back to Nerd HQ. And today, we're going to talk about a little something called Godzilla vs. Kong. This movie was amazing. Right now, it's breaking records left and right. I think out of all the movies that came out during the pandemic, especially in theaters, this movie has broken box office records as far as the pandemic goes. So from the time that the pandemic happened till now, this movie has made the most money out of any movie that's came out, which isn't surprising. This is the first major motion picture blockbuster that has came out since the pandemic happened. Now, does it live up to the hype? Hell yeah, it does. It is such a rush of action. Like, they don't like in most of the MonsterVerse movies, like Godzilla, the Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla King of Monsters. This movie does not keep you waiting on the action. It throws you straight into it from the beginning. And the most of the complaints with all these MonsterVerse movies is the human interactions, the actual people. Because nobody's going to see a MonsterVerse movie. No one's going to go see a Godzilla or King Kong movie. No one's going to come see it for the actors or actresses that's in the movie, or the people. No one's going to see that, going to the theater to see them. They're going to the movies or watching it on HBO Max for the simple fact of they want to see two big-ass monsters fight. They want to see... I heard someone say this once before. I think it was 3C Films. They want to see Hairy Cheeks versus Clifford Lizard, and that's what it was. It was just a big monkey with hairy cheeks versus a big Clifford-sized lizard, and it was amazing. And like everyone said, there was a big twist at the end with Mechagodzilla. I had no problem with that, because right about the point when the action started dying down after the fight with Kong versus Godzilla, it was over at that point. But there was still plenty of movie left, so you're just kind of left thinking like, what's going on? Like, there's still like plenty of movie left. Like, the fight's over with now, and then boom, out of nowhere, Mechagodzilla comes up and just starts wrecking Godzilla's shit.
Come here, boy!
Now, me personally, I was Team Kong, mostly because, I mean, he's in this movie. He was the out of the two. You mean, if you're trying to make a connection with one, the one that you can actually make a connection with or actually give a damn about, really, in this movie is Kong, because he's really the hero in this one. From the beginning to the end, and they make it seem that way, because I mean, people could say what they want about this movie, about being if it's Kong's movie or Godzilla's movie. This was Kong's movie. It had way more Kong in it than Godzilla. It had Kong from the beginning, and there was so much more Kong interaction with the humans. It's unreal. I mean, Kong literally had a relationship, not like a relationship, but a friendship with this little girl, and that's how he became humanized in this movie. That's how you were able to feel. That's how you were able to feel for this character of Kong, and pretty much root for him, because he had these interactions with this girl. He knew sign language. He knew how to tell this girl that he wanted to go home. which was cool. Like he knew sign language, which is kind of a ripoff of Dwayne Johnson's Rampage, but you know it's kind of the same properties there. But which then again, Rampage is kind of a ripoff of Godzilla and Kong, so you can't really just give either one of them shit for it. But whatever. But there were some points where it was kind of unfair in the fights. The first fight that Godzilla and Kong had, they fought in water, and it was the big ship fight, like this fight right here, where Kong just like gives Godzilla like the big punch, and you think that at that point from that first punch in the trailer that he's got this one, like he's gonna kick ass, but he does for a bit. Okay, he puts up a fight, but there's only so much room he can work with by jumping from ship to ship here. So eventually Kong ran out of room to fight, and Godzilla just like drug his ass down back in the water. If it wasn't for the humans, Kong would have been dead. So hooray for the humans. They actually play a part in this. But long story short, guys, Kong lost the first fight. Was it fair? Hell no, it wasn't. Kong was on Godzilla's turf. See, the thing is Godzilla could fight in water and land, but Kong could really just only fight at full potential on land. Now, Godzilla did put up a hell of a fight on the waterfront, but then again, he was heavily sedated at the time. He was under drugs. He was under the influence. And, he still put up a fight. And he was caught off guard. So, he's just... The whole thing was just was a bad situation for Kong. He almost drowned. Second fight happened kind of way later. Pretty much almost at the end of the movie. It was round 2. And Kong won that one. He had the axe in the second part, which turns out to be something that Kong's ancestors had, like his mother and father, mother and father Kong, Mr. and Miss Kong. They had made a axe from a shard of a Godzilla predecessor. Like one of the sharp pieces on Godzilla's back, that was what the axe was made from. And he whooped ass with it. That's what gave him the edge, the real edge against Godzilla, which was cool. He's an ape. He has opposable thumbs, He's allowed to wield weapons. He would have to be really stupid to fight in this fight and not really, use his strengths in this fight. Hell, Godzilla did. He threw Godzilla's ass in water and tried to drown him. So, both of them put up a hell of a fight. You're pretty much left on the edge of your seat the whole time, thinking, who's going to win. And there's just there's some things that happen in the movie that you're just like, holy shit, like you're so mind blown, like you're just waiting for the next thing to keep happening. Now, did the plot make sense? Not really. It was just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, like a bunch of scientific mumbo jumbo to try and just keep the story moving forward. Yeah, did some of it make sense? You could pretty much let stuff pass. And you could just nod your head like, okay, yeah, whatever keeps the story moving along, which is fine. Not everything has to make sense in a big ass, King Kong and Godzilla fight movie. Not everything has to make sense. The whole movie's like science fiction anyway, so not everything has to make sense. So the story was kind of, whatever. The humans wasn't as much of a nuisance in the movie as the other ones. And you actually kind of give a shit about the humans in this one. Judging off the other movies, of course. Now, after round 2, Kong gets his ass kicked. Unfortunately, Godzilla gets pissed and pretty much shows him who's king, or God at this point. And he basically kills Kong. And it's really up to the humans at this point to pretty much revive Kong or bring him back to life. Which was good, because if they wouldn't have, Godzilla would have gotten killed from Mechagodzilla. Because the humans, or I think the group was called Apex, was making a robot Godzilla, or a Mechagodzilla, in secret in an underground lab, which was why Godzilla was losing his shit throughout the whole movie and was looking like the villain, because he was tearing up shit and killing people for what looked like no damn good reason at all. But turned out he was just getting pissed because he was trying to find Mechagodzilla and pretty much destroy him before he came to full potential. And what the humans were doing, they were using the head of Ghidorah and using Ghidorah's brainwaves to trigger our human brainwaves. They gave one of the human guys a helmet or whatever, and it would use a human's brainwaves from Ghidorah's and transfer them into the Mechagodzilla to where the human could be inside. It's kind of like a Pacific Rim type thing, kind of kind of a rip off of Pacific Rim, if you've ever seen that movie. But when they kind of just load up Mechagodzilla to take on Godzilla, it's the Ghidorah head takes over, and the humans don't have control of Mechagodzilla anymore. Like it's a rogue robot, and pretty much it's a part 2 of King Ghidorah versus Godzilla from the last movie, because it's technically King Ghidorah against Godzilla, because it's the Ghidorah's brain that's taking over the robot, or the cyborg, and he kicks Godzilla's ass. Like, he literally grabs his face and just starts tossing him into buildings and shit, and just dragging him everywhere. And right at that point, like, he was about to pull a Godzilla by opening up Godzilla's mouth and about to use his beam and cut right through him. But the humans brought Kong back to life, and Kong whooped Mechagodzilla's ass. So technically, it was kind of a tie, because Godzilla won 1, Kong won 1. Godzilla pretty much killed Kong, but then Kong came back and saved Godzilla and kicked Mechagodzilla's ass. So, and some people are speculating that technically Kong is now got the title as king. Number one, basically because at the point where Godzilla defeats Kong, Godzilla's king. But when Mechagodzilla comes up and fights Godzilla, Mechagodzilla defeats Godzilla. So technically Mechagodzilla is then king of the monsters at that point. Well, when Kong comes up and saves Godzilla, Kong defeats Mechagodzilla, which at that point he takes the title as king because he defeated Mechagodzilla. So technically Kong is now king, because even after the big rumble between the three, after it was all said and done, after Mechagodzilla was defeated, Kong pretty much threw down his axe. Mainly because the girl told him to. The little girl was just, you know, trying to explain to Kong that Godzilla is our friend now, that he doesn't have to fight anymore. So Kong obliges and throws down his axe and chooses not to fight anymore. Which is kind of like, you know, a parlay. Like, you know, okay, wasn't really a surrender, I guess. I don't know. Some people have their own debates about it. I'm just going to say it was a tie, and Kong is king at this point, but Godzilla can just take the god title, you know. But all in all, really fun movie. Enjoyed every second of it, especially at the end. Definitely worth a watch. I kind of wish I would have went and seen it in theaters because I got impatient and watched it on HBO Max. So you do what you gotta do, you know, content, right? So now, like I said in my last video with Zack Snyder Cut, I'm doing ranking reviews now and rating them on a scale of 1 to 10. I will give this one, Godzilla versus Kong. I will give this one I judge this stuff based on story and action, comedy, all that. So I'm gonna say I give this one. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I don't want to give it a 7 because it was better than the other ones. And the other ones, I'd probably give them about a 7. Or I'd probably give the first Godzilla a 6. A 6 out of 10. I'd probably give Kong vs. Skull Island, I'd probably give that one an 8. Because I really like that one. Now I'd probably give the Godzilla King of Monsters, I'd probably give that one a 7. And then this one I give an 8. I feel like that's fair. I feel like this one was just as good as Kong Skull Island. So there you guys go. That was my review over Kong versus Godzilla, Godzilla versus Kong. If you guys have any comments or any opinions, or put down your ranking or rating down below, and let me know what you thought about the movie if you've watched it. But make sure you guys like the video and subscribe with bell notifications on. That way you're staying completely up to date with everything that comes out on my channel. And that way you'll be an official member of the Cringe Crew. And with you being up to date with all my videos, you'll be able to know exactly when all my other videos will be uploaded. Because I'll be bringing out tons and tons more videos like this. There's so much to talk about right now, especially with movie reviews and movie news. I just finished, just finished this one. Just finished Zack Snyder's discussion. I just did a Mortal Kombat news video, and I'll be doing a news video on restoring the Snyderverse. Some news on that. Big news on that. And then there's going to be a thing where I'm going to be doing some news on a Spider-Man 4, the chances of a Spider-Man 4, Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi continuation coming out. So if you guys are interested in checking those out and finding out if those will be coming out, make sure that you are subscribed with bell notifications on. And that way you'll be a part of the Cringe Crew. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Cringe Gingy. Peace out, YouTube.